This is just a regular zipline jump. This is a super jump. And this is a hyper jump. I'm Pesky Frank, and today I'm going to teach you how to do both the hyper jump and the super jump. Let's start with the super jump first. In order to do a super jump, you need to do two things: interact and jump at the same time, then immediately jump again. To make this easier, you can bind jump to scroll wheel down, so all you have to do is interact and one long scroll wheel down. It's important to know that you have to be touching the ground when you interact with the zipline. You can't super jump if you do a jump before interacting with the zipline. Next, how do we do a hyper jump? Well, a hyper jump is basically a super jump with another interact jump afterwards. Before I teach you how to hyper jump, there's two huge things that you have to know about hyper jumping. In order to hyper jump, you need this interact prompt to flicker right here, but this is very inconsistent. There are a few things you can do to make it pop up more consistently, but I'll explain those in a minute. Now, the second thing you need to know is that the interact won't show up if you super jump using scroll wheel down. I'm not sure why this is, but in order to do a hyper jump, you have to use your spacebar. We need this interaction prompt to consistently pop up. In order to do that, place a zipline right here, stand in front of the middle dummy, and stand slightly off center from the zipline and do a super jump. You will now get the interact prompt 100% of the time. So now we can finally learn the steps of the hyper jump. First, interact in spacebar, then hit spacebar a second time. This is your first super jump. Then hit interact in spacebar when the prompt shows up. The better you time the second interact and jump, the smoother and higher your hyper jump will be. During this hyper jump, I wait to see the interact flicker before I hit interact and jump, and my momentum kind of pauses a little bit. But during this hyper jump, I hit the timing perfectly and I continue my momentum throughout the entire hyper jump. Note that you don't even see the interact prompt flicker since I hit the timing perfectly. So if you go to this end of the zipline where it's nearly flat and do a super jump, the interact won't flicker. But if you walk a little further ahead, it does. So to do the hyper jump, you need the zipline to be on a slight incline. You can technically do a hyper jump on a flat zipline. It's just very hard to do and extremely inconsistent. But that's the reason we practice movement tech, is to be consistent. And super jumping is much more consistent, and you can do it on both horizontal and vertical ziplines with ease. Also, you need to be able to super jump for mantle jumping and elite jumping. So if you want to learn how to do the elite jump, watch this video right here. If you learned anything at all today, make sure you leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to see future tutorials just like this one.